beautiful, gorgeous friends. It's Linette and Nikki here, and we are so excited to bring you Garden 1842 and Home, very first garden tour of the season. So come along with us and see what's coming up in our garden. Also, please, if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and join our YouTube family today. If you do, comment and let us know where you are here in the world. Thank you. We just got a rain, and I always think the garden looks so pretty after a little rain. And come join us today as I take you on a tour of this home and garden. Our home was built in 1842. We sit here in Circleville, Ohio, along the Underground Railroad. As we come through the garden gates, you're going to see my shovel and my spring stuff that I'm getting ready to fertilize. So there's all my fertilizer. We're going to start on the left here, a lace-capped hydrangea. Okay, so in this bed here, I have a really pretty astilbe there. Beside it is a East Friesland salvia. And I did make a purchase already this year. And it is a dahlia called Emily. It's only supposed to get like 12 to, I think, 14 inches tall. Behind the dahlia, I have a columbine that I just transferred. So it's not looking the greatest. The big plant, my monster here, is my sweet autumn clematis. And if you see our fence, see the third, like right behind it is the pole, but see the third one over? That clematis should go all the way down there and then come all the way here, almost, well, to the garden gate. And it'll be huge. Down the line, all these little plants that you see here are salvia. They're East Friesland salvia. Past the clematis, I just transferred in my autumn joy sedum in the back is getting really, really good. So I just transferred these two plants here. And in the middle is a coral knockout rose. Behind the knockout rose, I have two clumps of yellow coneflower that gets quite tall, about 5 feet probably. Another salvia there. And then after this knockout rose, I have a bobo hydrangea. And then my beautiful tulips. These are the Don Quixote tulips from Tulip World. And then I have a white limelight hydrangea. And these are two little groupings of Stokes aster, blue Denebe aster. Right after the limelight, I have another little group of sedum, more salvias. And then this is going to be a red rambling rose, and I had to cut it back really hard this year, so I'm hoping it'll ramble up on the fence for me. I also seeded a lot of seeds, so I'm having to keep my beds kind of wet. Hopefully I'll get some seeds coming. This here is a limelight, a limelight hydrangea as well, and it was my original limelight hydrangea and it died, and now little pieces of it are coming back. And then here in between the salvias, I've got a clump of primrose, and in front of the primrose I have some little cotton candy yarrow. This here is an Oh So Easy rose, and it is a mango salsa. Another little clump of the primrose, And I got this plant last year, and I cannot remember the name of it. And then another rose. It's a campfire rose. And then where you see the little popsicle sticks coming up, I planted Liatris, and I planted a dinner plate dahlia down here along the fence, and then another, if you can see the yellow popsicle stick there, that is another Emery Paul dinner plate dahlia. Okay, past the campfire rose, I did another little grouping of sedum, and then this rose was here when we moved in, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful coral colored rose. And then I transplanted this phlox and that phlox, and I think it's just your normal purple phlox. And this phlox here is from last year, and it is called Glamour Girl. I got this tree last year. It is a crepe myrtle, and I think it's going to be okay. I've been worried a little bit about it, but I think we're going to be fine. So it is a Sioux crepe myrtle, and I don't think it's supposed to get very big. I think like 12 feet tall. You can see at the base, I think we're doing really, really good. And now my crepe myrtle in the backyard is looking like this too. So, you know, crepe myrtles bloom in July. So, you know, we just gotta wait and see what's gonna come here. And then behind the crepe myrtle, my David Austin rose is Bathsheba. And it's a really pretty yellow coral or yellow apricot color. I had to cut all my roses back pretty hard this year. Then as we come down the line here, past the crepe myrtle, we have a peach drift rose in between the salvias. And then behind that, I have a coral knockout rose. Proven winners, raspberry ruffle dianthus. Another astilbe that I split off an astilbe in my backyard. More sedum. And this is a magic carpet spirea, and it'll get really pretty pink flowers on it. And then this little rose here, I had to cut it back almost to the ground, but it is David Austin Boscabelle. Okay, so then right past the David Austin Boscabelle, I have a snowbound spirea. You can see if you get really close, those little flowers will be a bunch of white flowers. It is so pretty. And then in front of it is a really bright pink knockout rose. I have a little grass here, and something's coming up right there, and I'm not real sure what it is. And then on the fence, I have a climbing hydrangea, and you can see I have a couple blooms. This is last year I had a couple, and this year I'm getting a couple, and it'll be my first blooms that I've had on this climbing hydrangea in like 5 years. So it takes them a while. Another little magic carpet spirea in between some salvias. And then this is a macrophalia hydrangea that I need to cut back. I was just praying that some of the buds would make it, but it's not looking like it is. And back here is another coral knockout rose. And some more of my Don Quixote tulips. I wanted to get out here before my tulips were gone. They've been so pretty. And then right after the tulips is a Scepter des Isles David Austin rose, and it's beautiful. And then beside it is another spirea, salvias, and then this back here is I believe a Thumbergia foam flower. I gotta double check that. I'll double check the name of it and put it on there. And then in between I just transferred these from in the backyard. Another raspberry ruffles dianthus. And then behind the salvias here, I have another bobo hydrangea. Okay, so coming this way, I have a bush here that's not looking the greatest, but I'm going to give it some time. It is a sugar spice sweet spire. And it does have some green coming up on it. And then beside that, I have a heuchera that I tried to transplant, and it is probably not going to make it. Lace cap type hydrangea here. I have a euonymus that's going a little crazy, a boxwood, and then this is the heuchera that I split that other heuchera from Corabel's. And behind that I have a new plant last year, or the year before maybe, but it's a popcorn viburnum, and I'm not seeing any buds this year. I know these take a while to get established. And then right past the viburnum, the popcorn viburnum, is my row of incredible hydrangeas. And I have 4 of them, I believe. And in front of the incredible hydrangeas, I have rows of salvia and veronica. And then in between every hydrangea, I did a little dwarf spruce tree. And then in between the hydrangeas and the spruce, I plan on doing like a really pretty pink petunia. And then back here, it's a mess still, you guys. I gotta do a whole lot of cleaning up, but I do have a really bright pink knockout rose. And then this plant here is a black tower sambuca. And then as we turn around the corner, I have my Boston ivy growing up on, I'm trying to keep it just on this wall. So Steve's gonna come out and see how it's going over on that wall. I wanna get rid of that. And I'm almost considering getting rid of all of it because I'm just getting nervous. I don't want it to spread over the whole entire home. Then as we come around the front of the house here, we have a weeping cypress tree that we're trying to save because over the winter it fell completely over. So Steve has it braced up for me. And then we have some some irises here. And these are so pretty. They're really, really tall. And they're purple and yellow. They're so pretty. A friend gave them to me. Thank you, Jen. More little tulips, some planters that I gotta plant up here soon. Okay, then we come around to the front of the home. And this is our front porch here. And in between, as you go through those doors, we have a spiral staircase that goes up to the 3rd floor attic. And in front of the porch, I have some dwarf spruce trees as well, and I'm not loving them, so they may be going this year. I think I just want something different here. Then I have my planters that need to get planted up, and it's so cute. In my planter from last year, there's my creeping Jenny. And then coming around the corner here, we have a row of boxwoods. In front of the boxwoods, I have some salvia and some hydrangeas and my Don Quixote tulips. Right here in the corner is another hydrangea. It's a lace cap type hydrangea, and it was here before we got here. And then here is my hydrangeas. And these are gift hydrangeas that my son bought me one year for Mother's Day. And this whole bed I have not cleaned out. I got to get in here and Still clean stuff out. I think that's some daylilies there. Another hydrangea, a little bit of salvia coming back there. And then my English ivy has kind of lost its mind. I'm pretty sure that is some alliums there that I planted, some pink little tiny alliums. This is the area where I put my impatiens, so more alliums there. Got a lot of work to do. And then we just go around the corner there where the shovel is another row of boxwoods. And I love the American flag hanging there. You know, I got so much work still to do and so many projects to come. I was thinking the brick right here in the front, I don't think it can handle another sandblasting, because I guess our house was sandblasted at one point. So what I think I'm going to do is go and find the exact color of my brick and try to do like paint it, and then try to do like kind of a faux like antiquing to make it sort of look like certain spots of our home. See how it used to be painted white, so any of our parts that are underneath a roof is still white with a little bit of brick showing through. And people say, you know, I need to fix that, and that's the reason I bought it. So anyways, thank you guys so much for joining us today. Nikki's behind the scenes doing the editing. Sorry for all the noise. We are on a quite busy road here, so I do try to sometimes stop videoing when too many cars are coming by. But well, thank you guys so much for joining our first garden tour of the season. And like I said, if you like, you know, this old home here built in 1842 under the Circleville Underground Railroad, please hit that like, subscribe, and give us a comment. Let us know where where you're at in the world, and go find your passion today. Thank you guys.